2 days after Valentine's Day. Cleaning
The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, J.M., and Paul G. Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, J.M., and Paul G.
All right, here we go.
Hey, brother.
What's up, bud? How you doing?
You tell me, man. How you feeling?
Good now, man. I think I got through the worst of it, so no big deal.
It's just the back
from the spleen, or what's the
I had 9 nights at the Lake Forest Hospital. That was
Chez Hospital?
it's dude, it's like I said, I got like a residency there. It was pretty cool. I was friends with all the nurses by the end, sending them pizza.
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, they were great. So yeah, I got through it all, and we had after chemo, I had this like fever and got dehydrated, a bunch of crazy shit,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
just everything. I mean, what am I complaining about? All these people go through it, and I, just
No, man, I'm
had to do it. It's just you get kicked in
gotta
the
weigh
nuts.
being tough versus you want to share. I get it. And
Oh no, yeah, I'm an open book. I mean, it was so it happened so fast, right? So it was like 2 days after Valentine's Day, I had this huge pain cleaning my
yeah,
oven. And I always try to tough out stuff. And all my staff is yelling at me, and they're like, go into my wife's laughing in the background because she knows I'm an actual baby at home, and I
yeah,
have
yeah.
sauna for the rest of the world.
Right.
But my staff's yelling at me to go into the hospital. So I went in, and then my spleen was like super enlarged, and then they
Yeah.
did all these tests, found out I had leukemia. And I was in so much pain, so they admitted me for like 6 days the first time. Then I went through like chemo and all that stuff, and then came out of the chemo. Chemo, man, I had 5 days straight of that. Whew, yeah, kick.
How long's that infusion, man? People don't understand.
Well, the first day was like 8 hours, and then after that it was like 4 hours each day.
Yeah.
And then but like by Thursday, like I felt like a train hit me. After Friday, so it's 5 days straight, right? Monday through Friday. After Friday, man, like I couldn't sip water. I couldn't
Yeah.
eat anything. It was so bad. And then I put myself into this like huge dehydration thing, spiked a fever. So eventually, like after the weekend, had to go back to the ER, got readmitted. Then they pumped me full of drugs and fluids, and
Yeah.
I came out the final time feeling pretty good. And every day gets better. And so now I'm feeling pretty solid actually. I finally got the old blessing to
Yeah.
go into the world carefully. So,
Oh,
it's like COVID. I got to stay 6 feet away from
yeah,
everyone, wash my hands
yeah.
10,000 times a day. And, but it was cool. I got to go to my kids' hockey tryout last night. I'm gonna go to the other one
Oh,
tonight.
nice. Clue me
Stay in
in.
the
Try out
corner.
for.
They play for Falcons.
Okay, what is Falcons? Because I see that. I like it. I don't know what I'm liking.
Yeah, so I mean, there's like 3 or 4 hockey clubs in the area. You got Winter Club, you got Vipers, which is in like Gurnee, and then you got Vernon Hills Ice Dogs, and then
Yeah.
you got Falcons that are out of Highland Park, but it's a lot of Lake Forest kids too. So, they play over there, and they're trying out for their spring teams. So
Okay.
that was fun. Got to do that, and then just keep moving on, man. So
So,
every day's really good. I have such a great staff. I'm so appreciative of them. They've handled biz. When there was a period of time they couldn't even talk to me. I was so like
yeah.
loopy and crazy, and they got
Well,
it
that,
all done.
well, that's kudos to you, dude, because they say the makings of a good leader, I hear, is not how the staff operates when you're there, but how you operate when you're not there, or how they operate
Well,
when you're not there, right?
I'll tell you what, it's for some reason it operated even better when I'm not there. So maybe, maybe I gotta like pre-retire and just like start going to the gym and check in every day.
Fair enough.
The
Fair
place
enough.
runs way smoother without me. I'm such a micromanager.
Well,
So
plus you got all the regulars that are looking out for you, and
yeah, that is true. That you know what? Good call on that. Shout out to one of our regulars, Anthony. This guy, I
Anthony.
mean, he comes in with a tool bag why I'm gone. Tightening the outlets, fixing the chairs, the tables. He's helping us on the fundraiser days. The guy's awesome. So, we've had a lot of regulars, both Duffers, Brodskis, Donanis.
Yeah.
I had people regulars dropping off food, ringing my doorbell. I mean, it was crazy. So,
Do you have
you know,
somebody taste it?
what's that? Yeah, yeah. No, but you just like, a nice plate of cookies and stuff. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I lost a lot of weight, but I'm trying, I'm putting it back on now.
yeah, yeah.
It's all good.
All right, we got Joe in. All right.
Joe in? Oh man, he's got a lot of
Wah,
fun up
wah,
there.
wah.
Where's Joe at? Got to beat him up.
Joe, we love Joe. Happy St. Pat's Day, Joe. You look good in green.
I like that shirt, Joe. Nice.
Yeah, some of us are team players for you, Jeff.
Oh, you're the man, dude.
Talk,
You're
talk about Sunday. Okay, the t-shirt, number one. Come on. Give me a size that I can wear, or do I just give you 20
I think
bucks?
we got the three. I have 2X, three. I don't know. I don't know. So
No.
I,
Okay.
yeah.
So anyways, talk to me about Sundays. I haven't gone yet. I see the Facebook post, but clue everybody in what goes on Sundays.
So I think this last one was our biggest one. It was or 2 weeks ago, man. Again, it
Yeah.
blends all in. But we're selling t-shirts. We do raffles and giveaways during the day. So like the girls give out, I say girls because it's all female staff up front, but there's guys too. I'm sorry when I say that. But they hand out raffle tickets and people fill them out and they put them in. And it's just we try to make it really fun. You do guess the score for the Blackhawks. It's a buck. Everything we raise on Sundays goes to St. Jude's. So, and we donate $5 from every app on Sundays from Duffers. Donati's does $5 off $5 from every 18-inch pizza, and Brodsky's does $1 on every taco. So we're putting money in. People are just throwing cash. We have like little fish bowls out. People are throwing cash in. Kneasley, shout out to Kneasley, donated. He wrote $1,000 check to St. Jude's. He threw it in the thing from Chiefs.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've been raising money, and then at the end, when people are checking out, you could add more money for St. Jude's. You could do a bunch of stuff. So it's really cool. It's been a really great process. Kind of helped me get through everything because like I didn't want it to be about me. Like I had a great prognosis. I knew I was going to go through a bunch of shit, but I was like, there's 12-year-olds dealing with this. You know what I mean? So I'm like, how scary would that be? You're 10, 11, 12 years old, and you got to go through leukemia and chemo and all that crazy shit. So I'm like, let's do something, keep the focus on them, raise awareness, raise some cash. So it made Dan Dorfman did a great article, made the front
About
page
to say, and it's on the front page
of News Sun today. Yeah.
Lake
Oh,
County News Sun.
Danny boy. Thank you,
So
Danny
it's
boy.
online.
It's online. It's
Pete,
on the
I
front
know
page.
Pete
Yeah.
shared it online, but it's
Yeah.
also in print. And we all talk about digital, everything going digital, but anytime something makes a print newspaper, I hear from people coming out of the woodwork like, "Oh, I saw this in
Yeah,
the
and I'll tell you what, me and my wife,
Sun,
we
whatever,
got the
County
paper this
Sun."
morning. Reading actual news, like old school way, I mean, it's like you retain it totally different. I am so used to scrolling and scrolling and
Yeah.
scrolling and clicking on articles and blah blah blah. When I read something like on a paper, I don't know why. Like all of a sudden I see things I didn't see before, like different articles, and I retain things. So I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, we should actually just maybe because I'm 40 now also. I mean, it could be that, but I'm like, maybe we should just sign up for the paper and like get the paper to the house. This is great. We're drinking coffee and we're
It's like
reading the
$1 for
paper in the
3
morning,
years.
like our parents did like 25 years ago. So I'm like, this is awesome.
All right. So Sundays, t-shirts, Lake Forest. Come on. I hear this is a wealthy community. We're looking for 10 grand. Why are we like pushing a
Yeah,
peanut up the hill?
well, I think I'm almost there because so I got calls that different companies are doing matching grants for us.
Oh,
So my brother-in-law works for Aon. He said he believes they're doing a matching company. A couple guys that I went to high school with called me and they're like, they companies that they work with are going to do some matching grants. So I think we're going to cross that finish line really quick here.
okay.
And we're
So that means you
excited.
got to raise the bar.
Yeah, hey, listen, we want to go past that finish line. That's the goal. We want to get more, and the big thing is just bringing it up. Like I had no idea this came out of nowhere. So and people are like, "How do you raise awareness?" It's real simple, dude. I skipped. You know how many times I'd get like a physical, and they're like, "Hey, go do your labs," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come back. I'll do those
Yeah.
labs." All right. I didn't do my labs for like 2 years, 3 years.
Uh-oh.
Do your labs.
Your labs.
Do your labs, bro. Because when they figured it out finally, it's because I had the worst of the worst symptom. My spleen blew up. My neutrophils were like gone. If I would have got an infection during this, who knows what would have
Yeah.
happened.
I was
So,
talking to a physician recently, and he said, "You think the biggest problem is people not having access to insurance and stuff like that? The biggest problem is people just not bothering to do their
Make,
scheduled visits, their
yeah.
checkups, their labs, like you just said, that type of stuff.
Hmm.
And if you get a prescription, take it every day, like you or as directed, whatever for cholesterol or blood pressure, whatever it is. But yeah, so more power to you. Now, Jeff, just so people watching and listening know, if they want to help out, here's the ways they can do it. They could go into Duffers or Brodsky's and buy one of these shirts for
Yep.
$20. But what else can they do? Can they go online, or
Yeah.
what's all the
So,
different ways?
yeah. So, I mean, again, it's more of an awareness campaign for us, but the monetary part is really on Sundays and the t-shirts, right? So when you're checking out, so I added on online ordering. So if you bought a pizza today on Donati's, you could round up your change. You know how McDonald's does that, where you can round up your change. So there's a little button you could click on Donati's. There's a button on Duffers when you order online that you could click
On
that.
the Toast app?
Yeah, they could add $1, $2, $5. So we have those little tiny things. But otherwise, if you want to make like you want to make a fun thing out of it and contribution, come by on a Sunday, throw it in the fishbowl, have fun with it. But for us, it's yeah. What is $10,000 to St. Jude's? This is hundreds of $1 million operation. It's more of awareness campaign for us, and it was just a goal for us to set to keep us going on it. So that way we keep pushing, we keep advertising, we keep marketing it. So, and shout out to Nina. She has been absolutely
Oh,
killing. She has been promoting this and doing this all behind the scenes. So she's been killing it. So, but yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy 30 some days for me. So it's happened so fast, and I'm just excited to, feel better, number one, but number two, like, really just again bring awareness to everybody. Like, I'm 40, I didn't expect this. I was in really good shape at that moment, at least. And then, it just comes out of nowhere. So, just reminding everyone, go do your things like you just said, Joe.
Genius. Now let's get into the weeds here, Jeff. We'll keep you on.
got some election results here this morning on the day
Wait,
after the
hold on.
primary.
No, look in the chat notes. The the beach
Oh.
concessions.
The beach,
What the
beach got
hell?
announced. So, I mean, first and foremost, congratulations to Dominic and Cecilia.
Who are the owners of Cotton Gallery, which
Yeah,
I'd
well,
never
they
heard
they have
that
Peanut
name.
Gallery and whatever the
I
next
mean,
thing,
they've got a
Duck
slew of
Gallery, whatever.
restaurants like you do. So,
Well,
Yeah,
first of
so
all, great idea to open up concessions to local businesses.
yeah.
yeah, right. No, listen, that 100%. And I'm so positives I want to take is the city had the foresight to do it. Dominic and Cecilia are very local. They live in Lake Forest on top of having businesses in Lake Forest. So, uh, Dominic and me, he's another Italian. You know how I go with the Italians in town. We always rub. I think he's one of like four people that have
Forget about
defriended me on Facebook over the years. So,
Your baseball team did pretty good in the World Baseball Classic.
yeah. So I think the fight that finally broke us up was Pepsi. We got in a fight over Pepsi.
Oh,
No, I swear to God, I moved into back to Westwood, which I was at, forever at Donati's, and then we reopened Donati's, whatever, this is 5, 6 years ago. And Peanut Gallery used to be next to us. And we were bumping heads a little bit on different things. Like we did some things during COVID, and we were like working together, and then I don't know, we got into it about a bottle of wine or something. But like I said, Italians will fight over a parking space, anything. That's just what we do. So Dominic's like, you got Pepsi, I got Pepsi. So it was
no
just a
fries,
stupid,
chips, no
it was
Pepsi,
it was
Coke.
it was a stupid fight. So, but eventually Dominic left Westwood, and they got a better spot, down the street by Rosati's and Dunkin' Donuts and whatever. And so that was the last I really talked to him, right? And then we were friends on Facebook, and then we weren't. So I was like, oh, okay. So I don't think he likes me.
oh.
But his wife is a sweetheart. Cecilia is a sweetheart. You'll see her in town walking their baby around. She's been every time I've ever spoken to her or seen her, she's always waved, smiling, one of the sweetest people I've ever
Now
seen.
we got that out of the way.
This
Well,
is
now
this is what
I
people say
like to
about me.
spread my
People are always
wealth
like,
around the
Jeff's
town.
a jag, but his wife's, an angel.
Yeah.
Like that's
I love your place, and I love all the places. I try to spread the wealth
well, you're
around.
just a lover.
And
You love everything. I love
Peanut
about you.
Peanut Gallery is a nice place. I mean,
So-
and
so the way
the
that-
other one, what's the one on the by the
Gallery.
parking?
Gallery is a little trendy for me. Like I'm not a trendy guy. So
I
that's
went there for they held
Give
a
me a chair I
fundraiser
can
there
sit in.
for Carla Wyckoff, who was the Republican candidate from Lake Forest for circuit court clerk in 2024, and it was a very nice event, and it was had a nice time there. So
yeah. So the city did this RFP process. I think 8 companies applied. I don't know all 8. I heard Rosati's was one, Left Bank was one, Duffers was one, obviously the gallery, and I don't know the other 4.
Lake Forest Food and Wine, I think it's all in the
Yeah.
it's in the minute, not the
RFP.
minutes, but the agenda of the city council meeting has
Right.
everyone that submitted.
So they had an RFP, and you basically put together. So all I could say is what we put together. So we presented a thing called Duffers on the Rocks. We wanted to upscale the concessions, so we were gonna keep like pizza, dogs, burgers, sports drinks, etc. And then we were gonna add acai. We have that cool acai machine, so we're gonna do soft serve ice cream and acai bowls, and all that is part of the concessions. Fresh fruit and acai down there, and then we were gonna do a beach bar outside. So it was gonna be like Duffers on the Rocks. You have a server bar. No glass, just plastic cups, a little bit of music in the background. Sundays, we were going to do like a little band down there, do Sundays at the beach and an ice cream social. So that was our pitch. We have 50 plus employees in the area, so, we could surge. My GM used to work for Kemper, so she spent 3 years down at that beach thing. So she knew the ins and outs. I'm like, cool. So we put together our presentation, we presented it. During the interview process, I was in the hospital. So that's, so I sent my managers. So I don't know what happened in that room.
They couldn't put you on a little Zoom screen or something?
No, dude, I was,
We should call the city council.
I was on morphine. I'm on all these drugs, like what am I?
That probably would have hurt.
Mandy and Margaret went into the interview.
Well, you've been better off having Mandy and Margaret there than you.
Yeah, that's what I said. So they went into the interview and whatever. So, but at the end of the day, we were one of the 7 companies that didn't get it. And listen, just because I have a vision, my vision. I think like me, you, Pete, Joe, we're the type of guys we like to walk in. When I visualize a beach bar, I'm thinking of Florida. I'm thinking, like somewhere fun. You walk in, get that ice cold, beer. You're looking at the water. You're listening to this.
How about just being open and serving me?
Yeah, just something cool in the background, right? But that doesn't mean that's for everybody. Maybe that room of the people that selected want something trendy and something cool, like different. Chef, I'm not a chef. I'm a bar, restaurant, pizza dude. Dominic is a chef, right? So maybe, and I'm sure Dominic has really cool chef stuff. He probably has a glazed duck with mango sauce with wild cauliflower grown in the mountains of Colorado, topped with something crazy and cool. And they were probably like, "Well, that's awesome."
Sir, my duck is cold.
Right, but my point being is like, he probably has some really cool, trendy things that's not even in my wheelhouse of a brain. I'm the type of guy like, give me a beer, give me a burger, give me a great view. That's me, but that's not everybody. So, who knows? So I think everything. I don't think anything was nefarious or nothing like that. I think that they, the selection people had in their mind what they wanted, and they selected what they wanted.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we should nickname the city council the optometrists because they are the genius of optics.
Well, I don't think
Poor
the city
guy's
council.
In a hospital. He's in
the city council didn't choose this.
The city council had nothing to do with this, Pete.
This was the rec center. So the one thing is like, it's not all, but some of the same players that are on the Friends of the Parks or whatever you guys call that.
Yeah.
So,
John Powers, you mean?
Yeah, I ran into a
Friends
couple
of John
like that before.
Powers.
Like, so
Is
I used to
that
get
how
into
we
it.
roll?
Well, here's the kudo. Here's what I will give it to the city, which is great. The Friends of the Park, whoever those guys are, and I know they wrote that crap email about me that one time, Pete, and they read it out loud. The reason why I used to give them crap is they would exclusively use non-Lake Forest vendors, and it just drove me freaking nuts. That's what Lake Bluff does, and it just drives me crazy. Like, stop doing that. You have all these places, and they're like, well, no one came up. It's like, well, because you didn't tell anyone about it. So kudos to Lake Forest. They used a Lake Forest vendor, which I'm very happy about. I think that fit the mold. That is perfect.
Great idea, Jeff.
Hey, I need to correct a statement I made earlier. Lake Forest Food and Wine did not bid on it.
Okay.
Here's the list from the meeting agenda.
Bring it on.
The Cotton Duck LLC, which was the winner.
Cotton Duck. That's what I knew it was something with a duck.
Duffers on the Rocks. Ooh.
Yep.
Grayson Management Services Incorporated. What's that?
I don't know. That doesn't sound cool though.
Yeah, well, they didn't get picked either. So Left Bank Hot Dogs. We all know and love Left Bank. Lake Forest Juice Shop, or LF Juice Shop. That I was confusing that with Lake Forest Food and Wine. So that's and then Rosati's Pizza. Okay. So those were the places that submitted proposals. It's not a bid like a contract where they pick a number and stuff. You know,
it was $10 for the rent.
It's a subjective thing. I mean, and I've never been in a position to pick a restaurant in all my years when I was on boards and stuff, but I've been in those positions where you have to pick a contractor for something subjective as opposed to just a straight low bid. And it's not easy, like architecture firms and stuff like that. And there is, you know, there can be hurt feelings, there can be divided opinions. And I know from my friends over in the Morton Grove Park District back in the day, they were very scared. They deliberately didn't open it up. They deliberately went for an outside vendor because they didn't want fights of saying, oh, we picked this local restaurant over that local restaurant. So they kind of were like, no, we're not. And this is 30 years ago, so I can't speak for their current board. Sure. But that was kind of their approach that, hey, we don't want to get divisive with one restaurant over the other from town. So we'll just go with some outside company
I'm excited. Listen, I can't say anything bad until I see it. Like I'm optimistic because I think they do a great job on what they do. Let's see what it is, right? I think maybe my proposal was too booze heavy. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I think of a beach bar, you know, like I'm at like, why would I go to Lake Forest Beach? Well, I want my kids to go play in the water. I want to have an ice cold, you know, Miller Lite, maybe watch a little bit of Cubbies while I'm doing it. That is me again. You know what I mean?
So maybe we wanted to prevent drownings.
I get that. But they want alcohol at the beach, but they don't want you to overconsume alcohol at the beach. So maybe they want to tone down.
Just like at your bar, we don't want people to.
Yeah, you want to tone down the fun a little bit. I mean, I get that. So.
Well, but they serve that. They're going to serve, just for the record, they are going to serve alcohol too. So
I'm sure they're going to have some pretty.
Yeah,
cool
and they serve it now. I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be like you know, it'll be again. It's going to be something trendy and fun. So
Left Bank would have been the one that, you know, love Left Bank and Rosati's.
Dude, that would have been a Hams or like, you know, a Bush latte. and
Whatever's on sale this week at Costco.
Like, listen, we got $2 lattes, Bush lattes. We got a dog. Here you go. Special.
We love you, Left Bank. We love you.
Hold on, Jeff. What people don't understand, and I need to be updated on, anytime you go off campus and you do something in a satellite, that just increases the variables of what can go wrong.
Well, you know, my opinion is like, the way I would do committees in the future on anything like this, my just honest opinion is you take community members to do it. More heavy community members with one or two oversight people, maybe for input from the park district. I don't know who was in that room. I have no idea who's on the selection committee. My managers were kind of telling me a couple people that were in the room. So I was like, oh, okay, I know who those, you know, a couple of them are. But overall, like, you know,
but it was staff, right? It was not.
I think it was heavy staff, right? So again, and a lot of the staff does not live in Lake Forest, right? I'd say most of them live outside. So I think when you do things like this, again, this is not me going. I think Dominic and Cecilia it's a great pick. So that is not. I know, duly noted, right, Pete? Duly noted. But I think they just need to they want to get residents' input on these type of things in the future. But kudos to them for doing it. Kudos for picking local. Period.
Well, and here's the thing though, and I see your point, and it's a good point. I think one of the calling cards of Lake Forest city government is that we keep local politics out, that we let professional staff do things that in some other towns become political and patronage and stuff like that.
Stu's a big fan of that. Yeah.
What's that?
I said, I know Stu's a big fan of that.
So, I mean, if you were to go the route of community members, which is something to consider, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but the con of that would be is then you're going to get into, oh, well, this guy's known Urso since high school, so he picked Urso, or this one knows this. Whereas you get a professional staff, and look, there's always biases, right? We're human beings, so we're biased. And again, this is a subjective process. So,
sure.
If Pete was on that committee and my wife was on that committee,
hold on. I think monkeys just flew out of my butt.
There would be two very different opinions of what the best proposal would be. I'm just guessing. So
100%. So yeah. Listen,
and your wife too.
I think everything's fine. I think I'm excited to see what it brings. I guarantee you it's going to be like Chicago-y, and it'll be cool. So that's that.
Well, and the beauty of this is they've basically set it to where they look at it every year, and they're not going to rebid it. I think they wait 5 years.
It's a 1 year. It's a 1 year deal, is what I saw.
Yeah, but then I think there was discussion, I don't know where it landed, about capping it at 5 years, saying, okay, no matter what, 5 years from now, we take new proposals. So I don't know if that's where it landed. But the point is, either way, I think if this doesn't go well, either for the restaurant, the restaurant owners, or for the city, or both, they have a way of
hold on. Beep. Here's the information. 1 year to start with annual renewals up to 5 years maximum. Then it goes back to open bid. Okay.
So there you go. So it's, the proof will be in the pudding. I don't know if they're going to serve pudding there, but the proof will be, how it plays and how it sells. You could set up the most wonderful thing there.
It's going to be better.
If people ain't buying it, then
it's going to be better than it was last year and the previous years. I guarantee that.
How can anything be better than the movie theater concession stand?
Yeah, right. That's my point. It's going to be better. So
we have a beautiful beach in a top-notch community. We should have top-notch food service there.
Actually, when I was walking around the beach, I recommended Dominic and Cecilia because. So I was walking around with some people and we were looking at things, and I think they were talking about at one point doing the North Pavilion and South Pavilion, both food vibe type things. And the South Pavilion is the one that was just up for the concessions and bid and stuff. And we were looking at the North Pavilion where all the boats are. And I was like, this is like a yacht club, upscale, fun, cool, trendy. And I even said, I was like, someone asked me, like, would you have an interest? I'm like, no, that is out of my wheelhouse. I'm like, talk to Dominic. I go, that guy, he's a chef. Him and John are those guys. John, who owns, I don't know, all his fancy stuff.
JDR didn't submit a proposal, did he? Unless that was Grayson Management Services.
Who knows? I think he's got like 70 different companies.
Yeah, he's got enough going on.
So, I was like,
Everett Farm is a wonderful
and I think
restaurant.
both those guys came out of Southgate. Like, I think they both worked at Southgate. So, I'm like, those are chefs. They're a yacht club type guy. The other pavilion, they were like, hey, we want to do concessions and then sell beer better. I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. So that's why I thought it was two different vibes. So, but maybe they're trying to find like the blend between the yacht club and the beach bar, right? Somewhere in the middle. I don't know. that's something the staff knows. So that's why I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be cool. I'm going to go patronize it. I'm going to go down there and
So when the
buy
beach opens,
crazy cool cocktail, you know,
we're getting
wildflower from, you know, New Mexico in the middle of my drink. It's going to be great.
Jeff, did we know when they're going to start operations?
May something. The dates are out
May?
there.
Okay.
I think it runs with the lifeguards.
Hopefully we'll have warm weather by then to go to the beach.
Yeah.
And what's the deal with, okay, because look, we all know there's days where the weather sucks and no one's going to go to the beach. So how does that work with staying open or not?
You know, I don't know. So my thing was rain or shine, you're open, right? Because, you know, you don't know whether, you know, the weather in Chicago changes pretty crazily, right? It could be pouring for 10 minutes and then sunny 20 minutes later. So you gotta, unless you know it's thunderstorms all day, and then you could probably
tornado warning. I think
Dominic addressed that at the meeting, and basically, I think he said if it's 50 degrees and raining, they're not required to be open. They said they'll figure out the weather policy the first few weeks, which honestly makes sense. You're not making anyone stand behind a hot dog cart in a thunderstorm.
Right.
All right. So operating May 23rd through September 7th, 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, and I think 4th of July is going to be a big day for them. So they'll, you know, like that was one thing we put in. We were like, we'll be open 4th. So I think, listen, I think it's going to do good.
Enough on hot dogs. Let's talk cell towers, Joe Weiss. Could you update everybody?
Well,
my phone's going to work at 60 in Waukegan. This is true.
I mean, Pete, you get the transcript, but yeah, cell tower's coming. So
could you expound?
Now? Yeah.
I mean, what do you want to know?
Wait, so okay,
you've been screaming for as long as I've been here about getting more cell towers. Well, here
so my phone, and I've had Verizon, and I've had Comcast, and I've had AT&T. My phone from 60 in Waukegan all the way past Chase Bank does not work. It's like I don't even have a phone. Okay, my phone doesn't work again until I'm past, or I'm getting close. You know. Old Mill almost. So basically from Old Mill to 60, I just hope no one has to call 911 ever. Maybe that'll get through. But like your phone doesn't work. So we're saying your phone will start to work in Westlake Forest.
160-foot pole. I forgot what they said. Kathy wanted higher because obviously higher you go, the better it is long term. But they said that that they wouldn't pay for the tower if it's any larger than that. I think 160 foot, 500 grand investment from Tower North. City gets 125 grand up front. Verizon doesn't have any presence on there, but they were worried about that.
Oh, so Verizon still doesn't work?
They're first
Can you hear me now?
What? Then AT&T and T-Mobile move off the water tower. All three carriers.
Well, I think that was a big thing. They want to get the cell towers off the water tower because, you know, that's a problem waiting to happen if you put too many towers on there. So it will be basically a standalone tower at the dump, the compost center on Kennedy Road, Route 60.
They said they're getting 200 grand a year from that, and they were trying to back out of it. And Kathy said, So now they're going to be both.
Well, if there's anyone you want negotiating for the city, it's Kathy. So she'll work to get the best.
I love Kathy. You can. She's the best.
So, but yeah, it's going to be, I guess, a monopole up to 160 feet tall. Does that
mean one pole?
Monopole.
How about just a pole?
Well, that's what it is. Well, there's some that are multiple poles, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right.
But,
just a guy,
you know, and look, again, this was something the council finally paved the way for this to happen by changing the ordinance. So then the city isn't going to build this itself. You had to wait for a vendor to do it, and obviously that company is going to do it in a way that they make money.
Well, so Joe, can you explain something to me? Because I feel like I'm somewhat smart sometimes. I'm following most of what you're saying. So this poll, can we just go through this real quick? So you're saying if I have Verizon, it does nothing for me? Did you say that?
Did she say, Pete? I don't have it in my notes. Did she say Verizon's not going to
It's
be
not
on
on
this.
there. Oh,
Well,
Verizon
So,
will be.
so,
But
so
what I got
Verizon,
was
we're still
it has
rocking one
the-
bar
It
from
has the
60 to
capacity,
4 mil.
but the poll will have the capacity to add other companies.
right.
So Verizon,
So
again,
Verizon has to pay this company that's putting up the poll
yeah,
to use their cell phone service.
that's so, these companies we all think, geez,
So
they
is this
want to
like
have
Boost Mobile right now? What phones work?
Cricket.
T-Mobile and AT&T, I think was what
T-Mobile and AT&T. Okay.
yeah, I'm
They're
T-Mobile.
not the biggest one, just like the other ones. They're like
T-Mobile's a big one.
Hold on. Here's
dude.
what I got. Verizon, there's not
which
any.
owns Comcast towers, by the way. So if you have Comcast or Verizon, you're out. You're still out.
Okay. So Verizon's not there, but they will be. They'll get priority. And then the other two may back out, but I can't see them doing that.
Well, again, my point is this is all market driven. So these companies are going to do what's in their best interest, which hopefully is in our best interest. That said, we complain about it, but they make business decisions that they can't, even if they have permission, they can't put towers everywhere they want to unless it's profitable for them to do that. So the marketplace will decide that. We've got the government regulations out of the way so that the marketplace will truly be the decider of that, which is the way it should be. And then we'll see. I still think, and I hope maybe I'm wrong, that you're going to one day need something at the metro station. That even with this tower, fine, no problem building a tower on city-owned land there that no one's really at, other than the dump. But the metro station, the West Metro Station on Telegraph Road, we'll see. We'll see how it goes once these things are up and running, and we'll see how the coverage is. I'll go to Sunset Foods one morning and try and make a call, I guess. We'll see how it plays out.
All right, Joe, Jeff and I are going to let you put the log on the fire here. Can you give us a caucus update and follow it up with the general election?
I mean, the primary election.
Or primary election,
separate things, because the caucus is nonpartisan.
All right, I'm going to go put a log on.
Well, no, there was an election on.
Continue.
For those listening, Pete has turned his screen off because he's falling asleep.
Oh.
Real brief. They had the officer election on Monday, March 16th, and the yes vote prevailed for the officers because there really was no.
How many people came to that vote?
Well, that's where I know Pete is going to make a big deal out of it.
I know. I'm just saying.
Very
He said to
low.
let you put a log on. I'd let him come back in.
Hold on, let me pull it up here. The caucus, unlike LF4T, is very transparent in telling you all the numbers and all that stuff. So there
but both people had a good time at the caucus, right?
What do you mean both people had a good time?
That showed up.
245.
Okay.
Including four from my house because it's spring break for my kids. So they actually came and voted.
So
yeah.
You were 2% of the entire caucus, right?
So
there.
245 votes cast with 219 or 89% yes to 26 no's. So John Turkla and his 25 friends voted no, and they had a little rant on their webpage about that the caucus downplayed this. I find it ironic that they're accusing the caucus of not being transparent about the officer selection and stuff like
Sorry,
that.
I just woke up.
This is some group that is not transparent with their own finances, but whatever.
Hey,
so
Turkla, come on the show.
And here's the officers. You want the officers' names so we thank them all?
Absolutely.
Let's pull it up. President, your new president, Scott Nels. Your new vice president, Tom Bohack. Your new treasurer, Greg Pike. Your new secretary, Dave Craigmile. Fundraising is Bert Karstens. Internal communications, Larry Obermeyer from Ward 3. And external communications, Nick Tatro. So congratulations to all those fine individuals for stepping up and doing what they doing this thankless job. of leading things. So the next big vote will be this fall. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but it'll be the certifying the candidates for mayor and city council and school board. So I'm sure that'll be the next big battle. We'll see. You know, we don't even know who the mayoral candidate will be yet. It's obviously not going to be Randy Tech because he's term limited. So we'll just see how that plays out. You know,
How does less than 300 people decide a majority of what's getting picked in town? Like,
well, having talked to a few people who didn't go. They're like,
I was getting my nails done.
Here's the thing. They're like, is anything burning? Is there any problems with these people? Is there any, you know, and I'm like, no. And, you know, and look, it was the weather was bad on Monday. It was the day before the gubernatorial primary in both parties and senatorial primary. So that confused a lot of people. Like, wait, you want me to go vote on Monday and on Tuesday?
Yeah, get off your ass.
And then people get the postcards for the ward elections for the caucus in their ward. So it's confusing to a lot of folks who don't totally understand the process.
Yeah, you got to do the work.
But
do
that
the freaking research.
But that said, yes, turnout should be higher. And I will segue at some point here into a very good lesson about turnout with our friend Dr. Griffin, who won by one, as of Wednesday morning, is winning his home precinct for precinct committee person by literally one vote. One vote.
And he owes it to this podcast, doesn't he?
Either that or we cost him a few.
When you don't get
Keith Bryn, unfortunately, is losing right now by 3 votes in his precinct in Highland Park. So maybe we should have had Keith on too. I don't know, but Highland
Park. I thought he was Lake Forest.
No, Keith lives in Highland Park.
Keith is in Highland Park.
Okay, did not know.
And he's not running again as Lake County Republican chairman, but he was running again for precinct committeeman, and he was down. But these were very low. I'll get you the exact numbers here because I got them on. Thanks to Anthony Vega's.
What do you need to know? Less than 300 people are deciding what's going on in town, and then people complain. I did have some people. I'm going to give a shout out to some people, and I offered them the opportunity to come on the show. They just moved into the area, and they said, "Hey, man, I just moved in. I don't know where to go for this stuff." And isn't that like a welcome wagon issue? Like,
well, yeah, and I think that's something that future officers and member ward committee members of the caucus want to talk about is doing more community outreach. I think that is a valid function that the caucus should do. I've suggested that we do, just like the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have precinct committee persons in their precincts around everywhere. Maybe the caucus should have a precinct committee person or a neighborhood.
Do a pancake breakfast. I mean, that's what like the fire department used to do, and everyone comes out for that.
There you go. Well, that's
gluten-free.
That's that.
I think
so
things you got to put fun back into everything. Like once you take fun out, like why would someone want to go there? Like, because it's just boring, and usually it's contentious, and it's bad vibes. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's like you said, the 25 people that voted no were probably contentious. They probably just give you the ick, you know, and you're just like, you know, so make it fun. You know,
but there's a responsibility.
Everyone come out. How do you make voting fun? You go in, you fill out a ballot. And the people at the table are very nice to everyone except Pete.
Everyone's got to start putting fun back into everything. Like,
did they stop you from filming again, Pete, or did you bother to film?
Well, I asked
bother to vote.
Wait, Pete, you're not doing that First Amendment audit thing, are you?
Oh, I lost track of my audits. All I know is the old treasurer's leaving, so I saw him. Hey, see you later. So that the new crew that comes in, they seem pretty cool. So we'll see. All I ask is, don't hide the info, right?
There's no hit. They're transparent. They're transparent with everything. Go on their website; it's all there. Regina
we got Joe. We got Joe here to explain it.
Joe's going to fix it.
If you want to learn about it, you come on.
If the voters in Ward, great. This is going to be a new AI.
This is like our
Lake Forest, it's a Ward 3 kind of town. Joe Weiss is running, he won't let the caucus down. He's transparent, he'll disclose it. Every dollar, every dime. While the others spend their dark money, Joe's out there all the time. Joe Weiss for caucus, Ward 3, let's go. He didn't electioneer, he just let the voters know. Lake Forest, don't be a Weiss hole now. Vote for the guy who showed up and told you exactly how.
Intermission, it's our halftime.
For Pete now.
You go to a Hawks game and in the intermission, half the crowd goes over.
He's going to make a whole album out of this.
And Joe's talking to the people that are left in the room real quick.
But yeah,
what else you got from the politics, Joe? Move on.
Well, I was going to say, so here's the numbers. I just want to point out the numbers for Bill Griffin's race to give you 25 votes for Bill Griffin, 24 votes for the other candidate who's Taylor Cotton, Cottam.
What race was that, Joe?
Precinct committee person, precinct 252 in Shields Township, which Bill was the guest last week on our show to discuss.
There was a contentious Republican.
It was a it was like I said last week. There's most of these times they're begging to find a person to do this,
and they're running against each other.
And this time, Bill, who's been doing it for many years and by all measures has been doing it very well, in addition to his role on the CLC board, this individual chose to run against him. My understanding it was a proxy war. Same thing with Brin's election down in Highland Park. There's a proxy war going on to take over the Lake County Republican Party and the Illinois Republican State Central Committee and stuff. So these were just, people thrown on the ballot to knock out people they knew would vote for, I guess, the current leadership of Lake County GOP and the Illinois Republican Party.
They're just tearing themselves apart. And you know what? It's all silly.
As the late, great Judy Bart Topinka used to say about...
Yeah, Joe, get out of my office.
About Chicago Republican Party meetings, she said she stopped going to them because she says it's just two bald guys fighting over a comb.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, look, the Republican Party, is such a minority right now in this state. And it saddens me because 15 years ago, it was not. Okay. This has all happened in the last 10 to 15 years. So this isn't like New York or Massachusetts, which never really had a Republican Party for many years. But we are so down. We control no statewide offices anymore. We control nothing in the General Assembly.
But Joe,
we're running the worst possible candidate for governor.
Time out though. But this is so what? Who cares, right? So it's all blue. But who
cares if you end up with idiots like Pritzker running the state?
No. Listen, it was whatever. Look at Schneider and who was the other dude?
Morgan. Yeah, Morgan got smoked.
This is what you got to concentrate on because Schneider's like, I mean, you know what you're going to get out of him, right? I mean, he's going to be what he is. Like he's in the line, right? He votes in line, he does what he's told. So you got Schneider, and then you had Morgan, who made Schneider seem like further right than like any person ever, right? You're like, holy crap, Schneider's like a hardcore righty compared to this guy. This guy didn't even know what the hell he's talking about. Right. He's like, I'm just. And
Schneider ain't all that far to the right. I'm just going to tell you that.
So what's that?
Schneider is not as far to the right as Morgan wanted to try to portray him. And he's not as pro-Israel.
No. I'm saying that's how far left this Morgan guy was like the guy was off the reservation, and Schneider seemed like a competent, reasonable.
So it's all relative. It's all relative.
He's going to vote. He's going to vote how he's told to vote. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Schneider. Like, what's the dude from Minnesota?
Philippe had a very good comment on the show with when Morgan was the guest one week, and that was this district historically had very strong leaders in Congress like Mark Kirk and Bob Dole, people who, and Don Rumsfeld back in the day, people who stepped up and actually didn't just show up and vote, but actually led on things, created bills, worked across the aisle to come up with ideas and stuff instead of just sitting there blabbing and voting, actually getting things done. And Schneider, like I said, Schneider's a reliable vote for them. I shrug every time somebody says he's in bed with AIPAC because he supports the two-state solution, which is a stupid idea.
Jeff, can I
But
ask, or Joe, can I ask you a political question? And I know I'm going to regret this, but
I'm regretting listening to it already.
why do Republicans or conservatives just don't vote? Is it because they're just too conservative?
well,
Why don't they get off their ass? And don't tell me it's because everything's okay.
no, I'm going
They
to
don't-
give you I'm going to give you a very good
answer like right
no,
now.
I'm going to give you a very good statistic, and I'll even send you the graphic of the poll. I have it here.
Of why Republicans don't vote.
No.
It's
No.
Pete. I
Okay.
think
This was a poll by NBC News, and it asked Republican primary voters and Democratic primary voters. It said, when selecting candidates in a primary, which of the following is more important to you? A, comes closest to your views on issues, or B, has the best chance to beat the other party in November. Well, in the Republican side, 70% said comes closest to your views on issues, and only 27% said has the best chance to beat the other party in November. Democrats, a little bit different numbers. 56% comes closest to your views on issues, but 42% said has the best chance to beat the other party in November. So
Smart.
Democrats are more interested in actually winning and getting some of the things they want, whereas a lot of my conservative Republican friends, who I love dearly, are more interested in being right on principle.
We have a
And-
saying: 20% of something's better than 100% of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Reagan used to say that was Reagan's rule. He goes, "I'd rather get 20% than 0%. I'd
But
rather
Joe-
get 80% than 0%."
But Joe, follow up. We have it in our power that if we got off our ass, we could vote these people out.
Well, yeah, but you've got to
Then
get
why not?
because we're nominating candidates that have little or no chance of appealing to the swing voters that used to vote.
75-year-old
Republicans?
white rich dudes aren't going to win.
I mean, look, like I said,
It's
15
not
years
gonna
ago, Lake County was controlled by the Republican Party, all the countywide offices, all of the county board. We had a Republican governor. We had a Republican state
Hold on,
control.
Joe, you're burying the
We
lead.
had a
Well, this is like you
Republican
talking about
U.S.
the 85
senator.
birds
We had a
you got.
Republican congressman and all sorts of things that are all gone now. And that's because we're not nominating people like Mark Kirk and Bob Dole
Joe,
and
you
Judy
know what?
Artapinka and Jim
All right,
Edgar.
I got to jump in because
Go.
I'm going to listen. You know what the biggest problem is? The group that's been left out. And that's your union trade dudes and hardworking everyday people. Dude, you go talk to any fireman, cop, construction worker, down the list. They were hard blue. When I worked in the union downtown, you call yourself a daily soldier. I mean, that's just how it was, right? So that group has been disenfranchised. Like they don't know where to go because they don't share the
Well,
same.
the cops are pretty much reliable Republican voters now. The FOP is endorsing Republicans.
Sure, I understand.
And most cops
so this is my point,
have
though. A
given
lot of
up
them are
on the
shifting.
Democratic Party. I
A
can
lot of
tell
them
you.
are shifting, even though fiscally, a lot of Republicans are anti-union, correct? So, but they
They're pro-consumer,
right, but I'm saying they're shifting that way
pro-taxpayer.
because
Common
they
sense.
have no home, and that's where I think
Right to work.
everyone that's the voting block
School
that
choice.
will wind up making the big difference. That's the comeback.
Well, and there's differences
Party.
within the unions. So I would argue like the teachers union is very, very different
That part is true.
than the police union or
Sure.
a construction workers union.
Right. But the
Okay.
construction workers union is fought because I mean scale for plumbers right now I think is $57 an hour plus annuity plus benefits. Their whole package is $110 an hour, right? And a lot of people that build commercially want to profit and they're like, well, I'm giving too much to the workers and I'm not making as a general contractor enough money and blah blah blah. And that's where the fight is, and that's general contractors donated money to certain politicians to try to make different rules and stuff. Where in the city they have
Well, you look at states like Florida and Texas where
Right
jobs
to
are
work.
growing and the economy is growing. they have different right to work laws
Sure.
than Illinois. And there's been a study that shows that in those red non-union or right to work states where you have a choice of being in a union or not, the non-union members actually have a higher percentage of do better on the take-home pay than the union members do in states like Illinois and Michigan. And that's
I would
because
totally disagree
when
with
you
the
throw in the
take-home pay.
union dues,
I don't know what study they're doing on that, but
I can provide it to you.
I mean, you look at New York's union, Chicago, Boston, any of these unions, those guys before their benefits and annuities and all that, they're taking home six figures. There's no way a road worker,
yeah, but how much are they paying in union
is
dues?
making that same money.
And how much are they paying in higher taxes to that state because the cost of running that state is higher because of unions? So,
well, the state income tax in Illinois is 4.9%.
Yeah, but the property tax is ridiculous, and a lot of that has to do with the use of unionized contractors. I hate to tell you that. Look, like I said, ultimately, what I think the best thing is what that Supreme Court decision was in 2018, thanks to Governor Rauner, and that was that union membership, at least on the public side, and I think it should be on the private side too, should be a choice. You shouldn't be required to join a union as a condition of employment. It should be your choice, and it should be a confidential choice, because we all see what happens.
How would that work?
People who choose not to be in it, they get harassed.
How would that work when you're working at a company downtown with a bunch of laborers and carpenters? The elevator operator won't move you if you were non-union. He won't take you up.
That'd be illegal. It's illegal in Florida to do that.
I'm just telling you, you got to go downtown to
Look,
Chicago
if you want to keep the economy,
I used to get yelled at as a carpenter
keep
apprentice for
keep
carrying
electing guys like
wood
Pritzker.
because the laborers would get pissed off.
Hey, Ronald Reagan, Joe Weiss, can I just ask the question simply? I don't need the exact number, but would you say about 30% of the Republicans are voting that could vote? Just yes or no. Don't expound.
No, because
or give a number. Yes or no, or give a number.
No, I think the Republican turnout. No, because I think Republican turnout is on par, scaled to Democratic turnout. So I think the issue is we're losing the swing voters, Pete. We're losing them to the Democrats. Okay, because they look at the Republican Party, whether it's the social issues like abortion and gay rights, whether it's, look, I like Donald Trump, but there's a lot of people that don't. Those swing voters that used to vote for Mark Kirk, Bob Dole, all those names I keep saying, they ain't voting for the ones that are on the ballot.
I'm telling you, it's 30%.
They're not going to vote for Darren Bailey, and that's not a slam on Bailey.
Just yes or no. Do we have the power to vote these people out on the Republican side? Yes or no?
The voters always have the power.
Can't say yes or no. Yes or no.
Pete, did
Joe,
voters
yes
have
or no?
There's no motivation.
Yes, of course, yes. Pete, it's a stupid question. Did the voters have the power to knock Brad Schneider out of office yesterday?
So why Republicans are so good about pointing out these stats like you, but they don't get off their ass? All they do is they chirp.
I disagree with that. I think
numbers
the
don't
issue
lie.
is, no, what we need to do is we need to have more moderate swing voters get off their ass and vote in the Republican primary for electable candidates. So we don't see a stupid chart like this.
I think if Republicans were smart, they would start supporting conservative Democrats, and they would vote in Democratic.
Well, I mean, you see that with guys like John Fetterman, and
Fetterman's probably one of my favorite people. This guy is blue, but he's smart enough where he doesn't.
Well,
he doesn't do what he's told. He does what he thinks.
I know a lot of people, a lot of Republican-leaning voters that in Cook County, they crossed over into the Democratic primary to vote against Toni Preckwinkle, but it wasn't enough to get rid of her. 2 years ago, they voted in the Democratic primary to get rid of the Kim Foxx replacement that they wanted. And here in Lake County, I mean, people voted for, a lot of people in the state crossed over to vote for Raja because he was more conservative than Juliana Stratton. Was, again, not enough to change the outcome.
I like the Minnesota. I don't like the far right dudes, and I don't like the far left crazies.
Yeah.
I like the middle of the road. So whether you're a conservative Democrat or a progressive Republican, those are the people.
So do you think Brad Schneider is a conservative Democrat?
I think Schneider does what he's told. And I think I don't think he's ever going to not do what he's told.
Because for all his talk about being bipartisan, his voting record ain't that different than Jan Schakowsky's.
Hold on, though. Schneider does what he's told, but can you imagine that Morgan guy? I mean,
oh, he'd be voting to raise. Pete would have to just give his entire.
Schneider is awesome compared to him.
The viewership would go up.
Pete would have to give his entire bank account over to Morgan.
Unexpected. Where Schneider's not like, hey, I want to triple your taxes. Like, I mean, he just votes how he's told to vote. I mean,
yeah. But like I said, there was a difference between Bob Dole and Brad Schneider. Okay.
Yeah.
That there was a difference. Bob Dole voted for every tax cut. Brad Schneider has voted against every tax cut.
But I think Schneider's open and honest about where he stands on those things. I mean, like,
is he?
Yeah, I don't think he's nefarious. I don't think he lies. I think you know what you're going to get out of him.
He's a nice guy personally.
Yeah,
and yeah. When you compare him to Daniel Biss,
he's going to be anti R on everything, which is fine. Like, again, I wouldn't consider him a conservative Democrat, but I'd consider him a middle Democrat, right?
Yeah, I mean, compared to AOC, yeah.
Yeah, but compared to the Morgan dude, like.
But he never voted to cut your taxes. He never voted. He supports a Palestinian state.
Remember the Tea Party? That, like, the Tea Party and the people that are like on these far left. These are the people like on both sides that are just like. Everyone's got to find the people that are in the middle that are common sense. I saw a cool thing. So there's a restaurant in Minnesota, and I was like, I should do this. They give free meals to politicians that will have a meal with someone of the opposite party if they eat together. I think that is the coolest thing. So if a Democrat and a Republican could sit down and have a meal together and discuss issues, the restaurant's like, we'll comp your food.
Yeah, the problem is these guys are making so much money they don't care about the free meal. But
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is, you just want
it's a good idea. I'm not.
You just want these guys to break bread, right? Because I think 80%.
And they used to do that.
Well,
they used to do that.
I feel like one of the union disenfranchised people. Like I don't have a team. I don't have a red team or a blue team. I have no team, and I feel like I have no team because I don't agree with everything Republicans do. I've told you guys before, like ICE, I want them to get every violent criminal off the street, but I don't think that, going after hardworking people is a good idea.
Well, there's a problem there, and that is that in states like Illinois, where they won't let local law enforcement cooperate, 100%. They have no choice.
Yes, 100%. So
you go to Florida, they're only apprehending
go to the jails,
violent
guys,
violent people because the local police are cooperating with ICE.
100%. So all the politics BS behind all that is crazy, but like. So there's no home for like the union guys. There's no home for the people in the middle anymore. It's like you pick a line in the sand and you're either crazy right or crazy left. And it's like, where are the people in the middle? Like get those politicians.
Fewer and fewer.
Get those back out, and I guarantee you they'll get the most support.
This chart skews. The Democrats have the advantage on nominating more electable people, but not by much, enough to win. But so we're 70% of our primary voters, Republican primary voters, are more interested in somebody closest to their views than somebody that can actually win. That's a recipe for loss. That's how you get people like Darren Bailey.
And I'm really, what hurts the most about Darren Bailey that I was watching.
When he opens his
mouth. The guy suffered an unimaginable tragedy.
Absolutely. And I have said many times on the show, he's a nice guy. And
I don't know how I would go on with an election process after that kind of tragedy.
No question.
I had that kind of tragedy in my life. I know I'm out. I'm
no
done.
question. And I think it has changed him. I hope maybe it's changed him in a way that he can win back people in Chicago in the suburbs, but he got clobbered here.
I also don't want him using that tragedy as
it's a horrible tragedy, and my heart goes out to him. Like I said, I
don't know how someone moves on for that.
He's a very nice guy.
Don't know how they keep running
He is more qualified than Pritzker. He would be a better governor than Pritzker, but he's not a very good candidate so far. Maybe that'll change. I would love to
It's just a
wake
bunch
up.
of rich
I would
white
love to
men
wake up
against each other. That's no one cares. That's why.
on the day after the election this November and say, you know what, I was wrong. Darren Bailey pulled it off, and he's the new governor. I would love to be able to eat that crow.
Just lose
in
the
front of Pete
accent,
and
dude.
everybody here to do that.
get
But
Southern
I just
Illinois,
don't
but
see it.
lose the accent, dude. That's
You
all.
know, you know who should have ran? I'm telling you, the
It's
only
not
guy
the
that-
accent. It's
the
not
only
the
guy
accent.
that
Jim
would've
Edgar had an accent too. It is not the accent.
The only person that would have ran against Pritzker and would have won, I think by far, would have been Kanye West. I'm telling you, if Kanye would have ran,
I don't know about
he
that one.
would have he would have made like 3 rap songs about it. He would have smoked them, dude. He
Look,
would have won Chicago.
Pritzker ran the
Kanye
table.
would have taken Chicago, and if everyone else got on board with him, Kanye would have won.
Pritzker's checkbook. He saved his lieutenant governor, Juliana Stratton. She was down like 20 points at one point, but he just started opening up and took out Raja Krishnorthy, who spent $20 million of his own money. So it wasn't like he was poor either.
Listen, my life's not going to change if Pritzker stays governor. My life's not.
Well, he will stay, but I'm going out on a limb today, and I am endorsing JB Pritzker in the 2028 Democratic presidential primary, because as a Republican, I want to face JB Pritzker in a general election, and so does Marco Rubio.
All right,
or JD Vance.
Let's make the show a slam dunk on top of the politics. Let's talk about the sanitation discussion at the city council. What happened? We're getting some new pipe. For all the people that want less lead in their water, why would you want that?
What?
Lead, water, fluoride, what?
It's called.
You're talking about the driveways?
It's called reading, isn't it? How about this in the chat? Look in the chat. See what it says right there.
There's nothing in the chat.
There's nothing in the chat.
It says message everyone on the chat.
It says Green Bay water main from 1924 getting replaced June 8th. Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Oh, of course. Oh, that. Yeah, they're replacing water. Yeah, they should replace water mains every
100 years.
Well, look, if you replaced all the old water
why
mains,
are the academics going down in Lake Forest?
What?
Well,
that's why the academics are going down in the schools.
Is this part of, they're shutting down Green Bay Road this year, right? For the bridge? Is this part, are they going to time it with that?
No, I don't know about Green Bay.
Have you
I know
been seeing the signs in Norwood saying
Waukegan Road is already
soon?
kind of gnarly with the construction over by the west campus of the high school, which is needed. We need to get that intersection fixed, but
yeah, you just can't make a call while you're in traffic, so it's good.
Look, no one likes road construction, but when it's done, everyone likes the finished product, right? I mean, everybody would complain
they start over again
about downtown Lake Forest last year with the Deer Path and Bank Lane stuff, and it's beautiful now. Other than that, Pete has to walk 30 extra feet to park.
Oh, those 4 extra trees have really screwed everything.
Hey, don't get me going.
If anybody, Pete, if you can't fit into one of Urso's shirts, maybe you should be parked just walking to all these places downtown instead of driving
sideways. Yeah. So Jeff, give us an update on the puck cancer. Where do people go? What do they do? Show up on Sundays at Duffers? Give us the
come on Sundays. Yeah. Make it where, listen, it's all about this. Talk to your dad, talk to your brother, talk to your mom, talk to your sister. Everyone go get your labs done. Those labs trigger so many little things that you don't know about yourself. Go do it. Just go do it. And that's all we
all you got to do for these labs is take a little blood sample or
that's it. Don't
cup,
look.
Right?
Look the other way. It sucks for a second. And guess what? If something's off, they're going to call you back in and they're going to do a bunch of other tests. And that it's huge. And I was stupid. I thought because I was healthy-ish. I mean, I work in a bar, but because I was healthy, I'm like, I don't need, what's the doctor going to tell me? Be like, it's the worst. You go to the doctor and they're like, how many alcoholic drinks do you have a week? And you have to lie. You're like, well, I have 4.
None.
Because if anything more than that, they're like, you're a severe alcoholic. Because I'm like,
they call it a mental health professional for you.
The Hawks game went into overtime last night, so I had 5 beers last night. They want to put you in rehab over that shit. So like, you have to lie to your doctor. You feel like so. Just go. do the labs, let them
Well,
do
as
the
painful as what you're going through is, it would have been a hell of a lot more painful if you hadn't been detected and this had gotten worse.
Well, listen, if my spleen didn't go the way it did, it could have been really bad because that's what triggered me going into the hospital. But my counts were so low at that point already. If I would have got an infection, who knows what had happened? I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. That happened, pushed me into the hospital. Thank God.
And we have a beautiful hospital now in Lake Forest. We've always had a
I,
nice
I,
hospital, but it's very beautiful
I've
with
been going
the
to Highland Park for
renovation.
years. We switched back to Lake Forest. This time blows it out of the water, guys. I'm telling you, that hospital is first class through and through. The nurses are incredible. In every department I dealt with, that is a first class hospital. The facility is beautiful. The system, the timing, the waits, everything about it. Lake Forest, we are so lucky to have that thing in town.
And when I was voting yesterday, first of all, thank you to all the judges there who didn't berate me when I was showing them my ID. Thank you for thank you for not doing
And they
that.
pretended to look. They didn't care.
You're talking about in the primary election, right?
Yeah.
He's like, look, I have an ID. I'm like, we don't care.
What's your name? It's like
Yeah. Joe Weiss. I like a Democratic ballot.
The caucus, to their credit, the caucus requires ID for their
real
elections.
quick 20-second rant. It's like when you go to the medical office and they have all the HIPAA rules, yet you're standing in front of everybody and they're asking your date of birth and name, and you fucking.
Well, then they ask you which party.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which party ballot you want?
I don't vote in
I have
primaries.
friends in Chicago.
Can you go in and say no party? I just want to vote.
Yes, you can.
Independent.
Yes, because yesterday in Lake Forest there were nonpartisan elections on the ballot for city council.
Yes.
And some places have tax referendums. So if there is at least one nonpartisan thing on the ballot, then yes, you have the option. Very few people do it, of asking for
the
a
school choice thing
ballot.
that Shields put on.
Yeah, so so people could have asked for a nonpartisan ballot and voted just on that. And if they lived in Lake Forest, just on their uncontested aldermanic candidate, because none of them were contested this time. So, or sometimes there's tax referendums in school districts or whatever. So yeah, you always have that option.
I mean, I avoid those things because, like I told you, I don't have a home on either.
But it's less. I think statewide, last time I looked, was less than half of 1%. People doing that, because a lot of people just don't know.
People said, "Hey, we love the podcast. Thank God for Jeff Urso, but they like our music, so they cruise around town listening to our albums."
Please, people, no.
The great AI.
Don't create a monster.
What should we include?
I think you got to go in the hip hop realm, man.
Yeah, my kids enjoyed the country. I had it on in the car because my kids are back this week. I had it on in the car. And it took them a few minutes to realize that I didn't have like US 99 on the radio, that it was country. They're like, wait a second, did they just talk about something in Lake Forest? Who is that? And I said, look at the screen, because then I switched over to the Spotify screen in the car, and they're like, Pete did that?
But
that's pretty cool, Pete. I think you got to try like a little like MGK world, and then where it's like it's like pop mixed with a little rap.
Tell me, I'll write it right now. It's recording right now. What do you want it to do, Jeff?
So follow like whatever, like an MGK or like a that type of world, where it's like alternative pop with a little rap mix, not like rap. I mean, it's like
not electronic dance music,
poppy rap.
Okay.
That'd be funny. I think if you did that,
what are the kids listening to these days? My kids listen to country.
Oh no,
they don't listen to you or me.
No,
they listen to country. They listen to Morgan Wallen.
What's funny is in those songs, sometimes like it'll just repeat the chorus like 14 times.
Oh yeah, that was a little brutal. We had to switch because it was like, okay, no, this is the third time we're hearing this song. We got to switch. That was brutal. And the best line though, because it basically takes what we're talking about now. So there may be a song right now, about what we're talking about. The best one was about Matt Montgomery in The Office. Like, Matt Montgomery's got an office on Waukegan Road. And there's one down the street in Deerfield, and that sucks. Or whatever. I forgot.
For all the viewers that are still left, thank you for tuning in. Puck Cancer, everybody donate. 10 grand is just the start, not the end.
Go March Madness. Go Duke.
Go Puke.
The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you who has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, JM, and Paul G.